Every angle, every perspective makes the mountain look totally different.
Are the launch conditions okay? Are the landing conditions okay? All you can do is dissect each part of it.
Those are the decisions that keep you alive in sports that don't have a lot of room for error.
Right now we are in Pemberton, BC, just a little bit north of Whistler, Blackcomb, up in these beautiful mountains, most famous for Mount Curry. We came out here to basically just try to explore and take the next level of speed riding. There's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. It's obviously two sports coming together. It's high performance parachuting meets skiing. You know, the sport of speed riding is so young and it's still developing every year. New wings, new techniques, and then we're just part of that wave.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Let's have fun, Johnny.
1.
When you look out there, it's just this endless supply of fun. It was nice to get out and find some other cool terrain to start with and kind of explore a little bit.
So on day one, the first impression from everybody was obvious. Like, these mountains are huge and they're gonna offer a lot of opportunity. You can fly around in a helicopter all day, scout lines. Even if you're right off the deck, it just looks so different than when you're on the ground looking down. There's nothing like that. Or on the ground looking up. Every angle, every perspective makes the mountain look totally different.
It was kind of cool to have John and Mike leaning on me a little bit. When we go skydiving, wingsuit flying, it's the opposite. They're the ones with the 20 years of professional level experience.
He has all the knowledge about the mountains and ski conditions and all of this stuff that he brings over from big mountain skiing and being a pro skier.
It's just that little bit more north facing.
Yeah.
And it's wintry, and then you're like, you can like body drag through it to slow down if you need to.
He's adding a whole different level of the ski world to the speed riding things when it comes to our group on the Red Bull team.
every run, every day, those guys are gaining experience in the mountains, picking up more knowledge, starting to notice things, being more aware of cornices, avalanches, changing snow conditions, and all these things.
What we're doing out here in this whole Pemberton area is way different than, say, going to a ski resort, Valford Juice or something, which is also amazing, but it's predictable ski runs, the mountains, you know, very readable, and it's not so raw.
And blow.
Day one was so perfect, and day two was shaping up to be the exact same type of situation, but we knew the weather was coming in, and we just had to make that production call of whether we go out and only burn half a day, but value-wise, is it bang for the buck? We had a lot of moving parts in this.
With these canopies and being tucked in these little pockets behind mountains, next to mountains, the wind's kind of swirling all over the place, and it really affects what we're doing.
The wind never calmed down. The snow conditions changed because it started warming up, so we never got our day one situation again.
Mike and John have very good instincts. When they're not feeling it, they know they're not feeling it, so they know their limits, and that's why they've made it so far in what they do at such a high level.
We really had to study the lines that we were gonna fly because we realized where wind was coming from. And just like at a peak, even halfway down a mountain on some big roller, that's kind of like another mini peak where the wind could be coming up, ripping off, creating crazy turbulence.
It was a little bit of a letdown when we got out there and realized what the wind conditions were really like. You know, I got myself in a couple situations where I was a little uncomfortable with the conditions while I was flying.
You know, we went to Mount Currie. It's our first time on this huge mountain, and the winds are going in all kinds of different directions. And it's hard to kind of figure out what's really going on with the wind and the snow conditions and where exactly are you on the mountain.
It was obvious that we weren't gonna be able to launch from the peaks of anything. And so we had to do that scenario of finding a place where we could ski to a point down the mountain that was launchable.
I just take some time and get myself oriented. That's a huge mountain. It's intimidating for me. Professional skier of, 20 plus years. We had a killer second half of the run together. High-fiving at the bottom, no big deal. Live to fly another day.
I feel like we found a really cool area in North America to practice and film our sport. And I think we're gonna find ourselves back here spending quite a bit of time.
In the end, I think it's perfect because we exposed ourselves to every situation. From the epic, this is textbook what everybody wants situation day one, to the, hey, this is our days in the mountain, it's windy, it's this, it's that. Let's find a way to make it work.
Everybody brings something to the table. There's a lot of improvements that we figured out. There's only one way to gain experience, and we gained a whole bunch of it this trip, and we're already concocting what we're gonna do next.
wanted skyacking forever, and I'd like to take it to a river and send it off a waterfall. If I did the waterfall with a parachute, I would die. Just like that.
What up, YouTube? Click for the next video, subscribe to Redbull,